Will that work? I think so. All right. So that's kind of what we wanted to put this together. But there's two other things I want to talk about real quick. We're talking about exposures, how to get your business rocking and rolling, get it moving so it's rolling on its own, right? So you got more and more people coming on board. And the whole idea is to teach down what you're learning. You put it into action. It's show, shadow, delegate, right? First, we show you how to do it. All right, and you're watching, taking notes. Hopefully everybody's taking notes on what we're talking about tonight, because everything we're talking about is very, very important. So if you're not taking notes, find a notepad and pen and take some good notes, all right? And then the next thing, so that's the show. So we demonstrate how to do it. So, you got the webinars Sunday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night to learn how to share the plan, your own personal VGOs. You also have that, and then I have a recorded webinar online as well to learn how to do that. That's the showing part. And then we shadow. So then when you're ready to start sharing the plan, we kind of just watch how you do that. We're there kind of, for the support and everything else. And you do it a couple times. Now you're on your own. Now we delegate. Now you can start doing it for yourself and your team. And then you start doing the same thing. Then you show your new members how to do this. Then you shadow them, and then you delegate. And then you go down to the next group, okay? So that's really how you build this business. It's really, truly. Rhonda and I today were having a conversation talking about the art of duplication in a binary especially, but in network marketing as well. But as you know, in a binary, this is all about duplication. If the duplication stops, the business stops growing. So this show, shadow, delegate is just a very basic formula to help you get into action, and then we'll watch you do it and then teach it on down. Okay. Now, with that being exposures and everything, I also wanted to talk about, I want Elka to talk a little bit about what her gym experience that she did last Friday, to give you guys some ideas, get your creative juices flowing, how you can also do something along these lines. But I wanted to share real quick what happened to me today. I dropped Elka off at the gym. I went to the car wash to get the car all cleaned up, looking real nice. And I vacuuming it out, and one of those new vets pulls up. I mean, these are the vets with 650 freaking horsepower in it. It's like 600 pounds of torque. I mean, they're insane, absolutely insane. And the guy's like, yeah, this thing does 180 miles an hour, no problem. And he's like, bam. And this guy, turns out he raced cars. So we got into this conversation, and we just started talking. And this turned out to be about a 30-40 minute conversation. And this guy, he raced cars. He raced for the Budweiser boats on the water, those the real fast boats. And he did, he's been racing cars his whole life. He's from Italy. He moved over here, then he moved back to Italy. Now he's back here again. It's just a fascinating guy. He owns a Lambo. And I'm thinking to myself, what does this guy do? What did he do? So I finally asked him. I just said, hey, Tony, you mind me asking? I mean, you've obviously done really well for yourself. How did you create that? And he's like, well, I own all the taxi cab companies on the entire Long Island over in New York. And he said, I started that when I was 15 years old. And my vision was to retire when I was 35. And when I got to 35 years old, I was ready to retire. My brother, who was running the business at that time, said, no, you got to hold on for another year. So he didn't retire until he was 36. So anyhow, he's got residual income coming in. He's just doing really well. He's got more money and he knows what to spend, how to spend. And the other thing, though, so of course my wheels are turning. Now, how in the world can I ask him? I mean, this guy's got all the money in the world, right? It would have been very easy for me to just turn around and say, hey, it was great talking with you. I wish you a wonderful day. But that's not what I did. And the only reason why I didn't is because of the years of training that Elke and I have gone through by being in this industry. So again, I'm just sharing this story with you to understand what is possible, and you never know where that next door may open. I know some people on here have talked about, well, I don't have any contacts. Well, that's why I'm bringing this up, so that you can create and generate new contacts. We've got the buttons. I'll tell you what, the buttons are awesome, right? So, but what I did with Tony, I just, I kind of thought about it for a while. We've been engaged in this conversation for about 20 minutes. And I just said, you know what, Tony, hey, I'm opening up a new business out here and Surprise myself where we live. And I'm looking for some sharp entrepreneurs. Now, obviously, you're already doing very well for yourself. So it wouldn't be probably good for you. But who do you know? Write that down. Who do you know That is a $1 million question. If you get good at asking that question to people, especially people that say no to you on this opportunity, okay, great, Brad, I understand it's not right for you, but who do you know that this would be right for? Okay, they're usually gonna give you a name, all right, unless they're just a real, not a nice person. I got another word I wanted to say, but and they're not a nice person, okay? So anyhow, I got his information. He said, "Oh man, yeah, sure, no problem, man. I'll help you out." He goes, "I really like you. We got, let's stay in contact. Reach out to me anytime." And then that led to his health challenges, because I asked him about how familiar are you with CBD, and that led to his health challenges. And so, anyhow, I'd share that story. You never know. It's called the 3-foot rule. So for those of you that are brand new to network marketing, never been around this industry before, there's something called the 3-foot rule. Somebody gets within 3 feet of you, you have a conversation with them, and then you ask them about the business, all right, if they want to know more about it. And that's a little bit, you can even use the script that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. Okay, that's my part. Now I want Elke to share in about 5 minutes or so, because I took up way too much time doing that, but about her experience at the gym.
Okay, for the gym, I just find it really interesting because I was there all day. So I was able to witness what the product was doing. It was really cool to see when people, come up like, "Hey, what do you got going on here?" And we just very briefly, and in the gym, it really worked well to set the frame from the cellular nutrition aspect. I'm basically asking them, I'm like, "Hey, wouldn't it be amazing if you find something that helps you, that your body is functioning on a nutritional, that your body is getting a foundation nutritional better value, you work out better with a product that can help you," or something like that. Now I'm getting all flustered, but it was amazing when they heard nutritional, cellular nutrition, a foundation, and your other things work better. They're like, "Whoa, what's that?" And then I was asking them, about pain, or some people even with anxiety and stress. So I literally used all 4 sprays and the swish on different people.
Too?
No, not the sleep. That's right. Yeah.
Go have a great workout. Yahoo!
No, and it was amazing because then when the people were done with their workout, they came by and they're like, and actually most of them within the half hour, they came up to me and they say, "Wow, you know what? I feel different." And they even said, how we ask what's different. We don't say, "Did it help?" or "Did it do this?" I'm asking what's different. And they actually came up to me without me asking. They're saying, "I feel different." And it was pretty amazing to witness that, how well these products work. And it literally was, I would say, out of all the people, it was 95% of the people who came back, and I sold quite a bit and I signed somebody up. So it was very, very powerful. But that line with the nutritional foundation to make your workout better, recovery, and even your other supplements that you're taking are better, working better because you have a better foundation. So that was really, really powerful. So awesome. I really enjoyed that.
And we had to get her ID from the military. We had to get her ID renewed, every 4 years, whatever. And she's like, "Hey, I want to show you the base gym."
The new gym.
So we go to the gym on Luke, and we run into somebody that she knew from many years ago. She hasn't seen in, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, something like that.
He was basically the manager.
And he's the manager of that gym now on base. Anyhow, long story short, he has used CBD in the past. He's got all kinds of back issues. He's had back surgery. He's still in a lot of pain. So guess what? He got a sample. And anyhow, it was great. So it's another contact just by being out and about. So it's amazing. Wear your buttons. They're powerful. So, but no.
But you know what? On a side note, what I really like, and I always point it out, because sometimes people, they're like, "Man, I'm already super busy. When do I make time?" They look at this business as a separate entity. But this business, when you get the idea of that it is part of what you're already doing. It's just something what you're doing when you hear somebody saying, "Oh, I got a headache," or something. It's something you're just sharing. And that's really doing the business. And so I'm leading into the next to make these calls because, and I know everybody on this phone here is successful in their own realm. So I'm asking permission to teach from, like, we're all babies here. Because trust me, because to be honest with you, I haven't really made calls myself in a couple of weeks because I've been talking one-on-one and doing a lot of follow-ups on a different level. But to truly call somebody, I haven't done that in a while. And I'm like, wow, you know what? So Guy and I were actually scheduling a VGO for ourselves because we want to, do what we're teaching.
Yeah, we're coming up to just so
Yes.
you know, we had a coaching session with Mr. I know I'm interrupting. Sorry. We had a coaching session with Mr. Hager last night. And involved in that coaching session, I basically said, okay, so we're gonna make a new list of 50 people that we have not contacted or have, and we're gonna invite them to our own VGO, and we're gonna make it happen.
Yep.
So so we're in the game too, guys. That's the point.
Yeah. And what I think is really important, and I'm going to use the gym, and I would like for you to listen to this as a student, but also as a teacher, because you will eventually help your people. But we're always here, absolutely, to help as well. But I would like to point out, when we, for example, I know we have a wakeboarder here. We have David, a physical therapist. And we have, when you're in your game and you do something, there's kind of like a pre-check thing what you're doing. Okay, I got to do this, this, and this. And you don't even think about it anymore.
Denise is a flight attendant.
A flight attendant. My gosh, you go through checklists, right? And you just go, and it kind of becomes a natural thing. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that. And that's the same thing here. Yeah. Look at this. Be open enough. Leave your ego outside the door and look at this. This is a total new baby. And I know you've made phone calls and invited people to things. But let's look at this. Be open and look at this as a total new thing. Because I'm going to really say stuff tonight where you go, really? But it's true. It helps because it's a frame of mind. I'm going to step into the call and I'm going to make this successful. And guess what? I'm not making it about me because, of course, in the past, this is what I've learned. I'm like, oh my God, I hope they're going to sign up with my first call. That's crazy. It's basically what I want is get the information out, book a meeting from a meeting, hopefully the VGO, business briefing, or a webinar. It's all the same. So I have to get myself in a good frame of mind. So how do I do that? And you can't see this, but on the right side here is actually a plaque from my husband from the military, but it's a mirror. So when I make these calls, I get myself in gear. We need to talk a little faster, have a little energy, and I'm stepping into my power. I'm stepping into success. I'm stepping into making a perfect call. It's not always perfect, but that's my goal. And how do I do that? I'm not making it about me. I'm literally seeing this where I say, how can I say things to this person and bring value to them because I have a product and a business that they can really benefit from. Can you feel there's a whole different energy than, oh my God, I hope they get in, right? There's a whole different energy. So what I do, I literally stand up. I sometimes, Tony Robbins, what he does, he uses the trampoline. We have one in the living room. I have this little bouncer. I jump up and down. And I'm standing up, I have my headphones on, and I look in this mirror so I can see myself talking. I know that might be a little extreme, but whatever you have to do, it's that frame of mind to step into so I can, set this up for success. So.
Yeah, and the whole point behind that is to be able to, the person on the other phone has to hear, or you want them to hear something a little different about you, why you're excited. I mean, literally, in that contact inviting, I talk about, hey, you found that pile of gold on the side of the road. Well, if you just hit the lottery or something like that, maybe a $10,000 lottery, and you just wanted to spend that on with all your friends, you said, holy cow, man, I'm having this huge party over at my house. I just hit the $10,000 lottery. Why don't you come on over? You're going to probably have a little bit different energy in your voice. And literally, if you really think about what we have here, you have hit the lottery. The only difference is you got to just put in a little bit of effort. So you want to let that person know, hey, I just hit the lottery. Man, I just found something that is absolutely incredible. All right. So that's that energy.
Yeah. And you know what, one thing too, and I've gotten it, when you get on the phone and people are just kind of giving you the runaround or whatever. And then I've said to them, you know what, don't worry about it. Maybe it's not the right time or this is not for you. But I have so many phone calls to make. And you know what? That is empowering to the person, to you who make the call, because we don't need everybody. Maybe not, maybe that person comes in much later. You never know, because they're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? But sometimes people are just that way. So don't be afraid to say, you know what? It's all good.
Yeah.
We'll talk some other time. We'll go out for a beer or whatever. But right now, I've really got to make these calls.
Treat it as a business. And a no just means you're that much closer to another yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. So the other thing is, all we're trying to do, or the whole intention of this phone call is to book the meeting from this meeting. Okay, the first meeting is the phone call. All right, you get the person on the phone. That's your first meeting. So you're trying to BAMFAM, book a meeting from a meeting. And in fact, I haven't done it yet, but I am going to put together a video on BAMFAM, because that is very, very important in this business. And the fortune is in the follow-up, of course. Mm-hmm. So the first part of that conversation is to grab their attention with a sense of urgency and a call to action, a lot of value and a call to action. Okay.
In a very short time.
In a very short time. So some of you I know have probably not gotten a chance to watch that video yet. You guys got busy schedules, but I strongly encourage you, when you can make the time, it's only 19 minutes long, split it up in 3 or 4 or 5 minute periods if you must, but watch that video, because it's going to really start putting into action, or to help you to put into action what we're talking about here. I know it might sound very uncomfortable for some of you to do a call like this, and Elka and I, in the next 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes of this call, we're going to try to play around with it a little bit.
It's going to be hilarious, because sometimes we even trip ourselves up, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it'll show you we're human, right?
Yeah.
But you got to step out of your comfort zone if you want things to change. All right. If you want to grow, you have to step out of that comfort zone. And that's the whole thing. And these calls work when they're done this way. But I also want to make very clear, it's my style. That's why I want Elka to do some of these too, because so you can see a different style of doing it, but the intention behind it is still the same. Sense of urgency, lots of value, and a call to action. Okay.
And you know what, also really important is when you make these calls, there's, your close circle of friends, the little bit, the acquaintance, and then true cold calls. So of course, a true friend, I'm going to, I can literally say, hey, look, I'm always into new enterprises, and I thought of you. Are you into CB? I can go pretty quick into it because they're my real close friends, but then when it's truly somebody that maybe is higher up on your list, who's a very successful business person, very busy person, you might have to get a little bit more creative to get their attention. So that makes a big difference too.
And so let's go ahead and we'll just try this a little bit, see how this goes.
Be fun. So I'm going to go in a different room.
Yeah, she's going to go in another room. She's going to get on her phone.
Because when we look at each other, it's not working. Because then we laugh and it's not working.
And while she's getting set up, we're also going to mix this up a little bit with the VGO. From now, what we'd like to do is, before we actually book your VGO, is for you to send us your list of 50 people. Because we know, as we've told each of you already, in order to have 12 people show up on the VGO, you need to have 25 yeses. All right. To get the 25 yeses, you're going to need to make probably 40 to 50 calls. We just know the numbers. That's just how it works. The VGOs we've been doing, that's exactly how it's been playing out. All right. So, I mean, somebody may have 10 yeses. There's about 4 people that show up. Somebody that had 15 gets about 6 or 8. So the numbers don't lie. It's just the way it is. People have emergencies that show up. People oversleep. People this. People that. It's okay. We'll get them on the next call or something like that. That's the reason why the sheet should have 25 yeses to it. Okay, and to get those 10 to 12. So that's what we would like to see before we actually book the VGO. So when you say, yeah, I'm ready to go with this VGO, then great. Let us know when you got your 50 names on your list, which is not hard to do. That's why that training from Brad and on the retail customer training is so important, because it helps you build that list with the memory jogger. I tell you what, I'm going to be using the memory jogger because I've gone through my list in my conscious mind. Now I really need to start buckling down, right? So anyhow, Elke, are you there? Yeah, you are unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. So Guy, I'm the prospect first.
All right. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to hold my phone because I feel more comfortable if I do it this way. Okay, ring, ring. Hello, Elke?
Hey. Hi, Guy.
Hey, okay, did I catch you at a bad time?
No, actually not.
Super. Well, hey, I'm getting ready to run out the door here, but I got a quick question. Do you make more money than you can spend?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right? I know. I
Yeah.
tell you, let me ask you this. How familiar are you with CBD?
You know what? I've heard a little bit about it, but we're ex-military, so I've never really looked into it.
Man, I totally understand what you're saying. I felt the same way. And now the more I'm learning about it, it's absolutely amazing. Did you know it's THC that actually gets you high and not just
Oh, cool. Can I have some of that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, we don't have
Just
any
kidding.
THC in our product, but I just fell in with a group of guys that started this amazing business, amazing company with brand new technology nobody else has. This is CBD going in at 99% absorption rate. It gets to every single cell in your body within 5 minutes. But get this, Elka, the best part is this is an open market. There is so much money to be made here. And I thought of you and I just wanted to share it with you. Was it something you would want to know more about?
You know what? That sounds pretty interesting. Why not?
Well, great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put you, could you be available? You're not going to believe this. The owner of the company, Mr. Brad Hager, he's actually going to be doing a private VGO for us, which is a virtual grand opening. And we just got started with this business. So we're super excited about it. And he's doing a private business briefing for it. I mean, this guy has made over $30 million. He's been in this industry. Him and his wife have been in this industry for over 50 years. They know what they're doing and they really helped out their son. And he's going to explain that entire story. So could you be available to jump on that webinar tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m.?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, no, okay, you have to understand, this is the owner of the company, all right, and this is my business, and I just need to know, and that's fine if it's not for you, that's okay too, no problem. We can catch up another time, but I just need to know that you will be on the call because I've got other calls to make here. I'm just going through the numbers. I just thought of you, and I wanted to make sure that you were going to be on the call. Can you give me a
Oh,
yes?
okay. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Okay,
Okay, put me
super.
down.
I'll tell you what, Elka, I'm actually going to write your name down and I'm actually going to forward it to Brad because I'm going to tell him a little bit about you so he knows that you're on the call, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Well, hey, it was great and let's catch up soon, okay?
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that's an example, a little bit of resistance, not a lot of resistance. She's playing nice for me, so that's awesome. I will do another one. Elka, play a little bit harder, okay?
Okay.
I see you but can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Can I get a thumbs up from somebody that you can hear me? I've got a text message. You can't hear me. You can hear me? Okay. Kelly, make sure that you got your volume up. I'm not sure what's going on there. But okay, let's go on to the next one. So now Elka's going to play a little bit harder. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Elka, it's Guy. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Kind of. I'm a little bit in a crunch, but what's up?
Well, hey, do you have a quick minute?
Sure.
Let me ask you this. Do you have a quick minute that could change your life forever?
Oh, sure.
Oh, super. Well, I'll tell you, I don't want to take up a lot of time. I'm making a lot of phone calls right now, but I thought of you, Elka. I know it's been a while since we've communicated, but I thought of you and I just had to pass this along to you. Do you make more money than you can spend?
Not really, but yeah. Can you tell me what it is so I can move on?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, we just felt, I know this guy and he started this company and this is amazing. This guy has made over $30 million. Do you think you could learn something from somebody that's made $30 million?
Sure, but can you just give me a link so I can look it up? What's the name of the company?
I'll tell you what, Elka, that is a great question. I'll tell you what, I am going to give you my link, but at the end of the call, but I wanted to ask you a question. Would you be available to jump on a webinar at 7:30 tomorrow night with Mr. Hager himself? This guy's a multi-millionaire, and he's out here right now teaching other people how to grab a piece of that big pie. Now, can you be on this call? 'Cause if not, then that's okay too.
That's all great, but you know what? My time is so limited. Can I just look it up on a link or something?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, okay, this is not right for you right now. We'll get back to you. I will text you that link, okay?
Okay, sounds good. I'm sorry, but it's just
no worries. Hey, no worries. No worries. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
So there you go. So you're not going to get all the yeses, right? You're going to get somebody that's, they want more information, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, you want to try one?
Sure. Now let me just reframe here real quick.
Here's a little
ring,
bit.
ring.
Right? We got a couple more minutes, and then we'll close it out.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Guy. This is Elka. Did I catch you at a bad time?
No, actually, I got all the time in the world right now. I'm just kicking back, relaxing. What's up?
Oh, awesome. Hey, Guy, I just wanted to ask you real quick. Are you familiar? I know we haven't really talked in a long time, but I really don't have a lot of time. Not like you, but you're a lucky guy. But let me ask you this. Are you using CBD?
No. What's CBD?
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Do you have any aches and pains?
Oh, yeah. I'm 56 years
Yeah.
old. Of course I do.
You, you know what I find so interesting, the more I know about this, I'm going to tell you in a little bit, there's so many people with aches and pains and they're already using CBD. And CBD is basically coming from the hemp plant, but I'm not going to get too much into detail. But since you have aches and pains, and this is an amazing product, I'm not going to get too much into detail because I have a lot of people to call. But if would you like to know more about it?
About the product?
Yeah,
Sure.
product, and there's absolutely also money to be made. Do you make
What
more
kind
money
of
than
money?
you can spend?
Well, not yet, but I'm working on it. What kind of money are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah, I know in the past, we've known each other and I know you've done things in the past to make extra money. So, but there's a great opportunity attached to this. Would you be available Wednesday night? There's going to be a awesome webinar for about, a little 45 minutes. And Mr. Brad Hager, the owner of the company, he made over $30 million with this company that hasn't even launched yet. Would you be available?
How do you make $30 million? A company that hasn't even launched yet. No,
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, I can be on it.
exactly. And he's going to talk about it. It's pretty phenomenal. So it's on the ground floor, lot of great things going on. But I thought of you and I would love to invite you. I only have a few slots left and it would be great if you could make it.
Sure, I can be on there, Elka.
All right, super. I'll put you down in ink and I will send Brad Hager also a note with a little bit of information about you so he knows you're on the call, and I will be looking forward to talk with you at another time.
All right, Elka. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. So that's the idea, guys. I mean, there's no real secret sauce other than you have to have a sense of urgency. You have to have that high energy. You have to put a lot of value into it, whether you put the value into the person that's going to be doing the VGO, which is the way I talk about it, and that contacting, inviting, or you put the value into the product and the business opportunity. The only thing I'll throw on is that for the VGOs, we're looking for people for the business opportunity. We're looking for the business opportunity. We have an amazing product that's going to create a lot of wealth for everybody, so that when we get to the close, the people that are there, they're there to create wealth for themselves. So we get to the close, that last slide that has different options of how to get started, they're ready to get started. If you leave just with the product, then chances are they're like, well, I want to try it. So if you're getting, I want to try it when you're sharing the plan, it's usually because there's too much emphasis on the product and not enough on the business. So if you start, because the close begins with that initial phone call. So if you're leading with the business and about the money, and again, some people may or may not be interested in the money. That's what the call's for. You're trying to find that out. If somebody just wants the product, like what Elka did with me on the other one, I'm going to send her a link, but I'm not going to spend my time on the phone when I'm trying to book VGO and get those 25 yeses. I'm not going to send her my link at that time. I'm going to get back to her when I'm not making these phone calls. But she'll get the link. Don't worry about that. We will follow up. I mean, I got her down. She's interested, but she's not a yes yet. I'm not putting that on the VGO because that's negative energy. And we just want positive energy on that VGO.
And you know what? So we have quite a few no's that turned into yeses. I mean, in
all
the
the
past,
time.
it
All
really
the time.
is.
All the time.
And no is more like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It really is.
So because there's so many people on here, and I know Karen and Tracy joined as well from Atlantic City, and a couple others joined. I want to thank you guys all for being on here. I hope that helps you guys a little bit. If there's anything that you want to talk about offline, we're not going to open up the phone now, but or the webinar. But if you want to talk about us, we're going to be around tonight.
Yep,
Give us a holler, and then also Elka wants to say goodnight too.
Good night, but I also wanted to share real quick. We can role play with each other.
Absolutely.
Please do, because that is one of the biggest things. So many successful people, you pick up that phone, it weighs 50 pounds. You're like, what happened? I know what I'm doing, but it's just a different game here and it's fun. So when we play and role play with each other, and we can all learn from each other because we all have our different gifts and strengths. And so you just kind of have to play with it. And you know what? Fail forward. You will get some. You will hang up and go, oh my God, you know, this was hilarious. But just
I practice when I'm driving. I mean, this didn't just happen naturally for me, obviously. I mean, I've worked at this for a very long time. And the way I got better at it was just doing it more. And I would practice in the car over and over and over and over, having a conversation with myself. And then I would call somebody and then I would do it. So I would do that practice over and over just to get myself revved up for it. And then I would actually do the call. That's another way to get yourself actually into action. But call your friends. When we were first learning all this stuff, we would just call people up all the time. Just say, hey, did I catch you at a bad time? What you up to right now? Hey, would you like to, do you make more money than you can spend? And then we'd have a normal conversation. But it's just getting it so it's second nature, like what Elka started the call out with. Exactly. You go for somebody like Denise, who goes through checklist items all the time. Me as a pilot goes through checklist items. They're second nature now. We don't even have to think about it. We already know it. And that's what you want to get this to. But you got to put in the effort. You got to do the work to get to that point. And I'm telling you, you're going to be very successful if you actually put what we're teaching into action. All right. So I want to wish you guys all a wonderful night. Don't forget, there is a call tomorrow night, Thursday night. So Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday is a conference call. If you can go to your worst prospect and invite them to that call just to practice on, all right?
Exactly.
So there's nothing wrong with doing that. Or go out and make a new friend and invite them to the call tomorrow night too. All right. And then let's get your VGOs going. Let's really rock and roll. For you guys in Indiana, I do still plan on coming up there. And I just talked with Brad today. He is going to be out there from the 17th to the 23rd, I think it is, in Chicago. So he is doing a how to get started training on that Friday. I plan on being at that. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this yet because it's 3 hours from Fort Wayne. But anybody that wants to pile in the car with me, I will be more than willing to drive you all the way there and drive you all the way back. Because I do plan on going there. I'm going to show my presence because if my mentor is traveling 1,700 miles to be in front of a group of people, I'm going to do everything I can to within my power to show my respect to him, to make it and be there and support him. Because, you know, the things about a meeting, if everything's going great, you need to be at the meeting to lift everybody up that's not going so great. And things aren't going great in your world, you need the meeting to lift you up. So the meetings are really important when we have them and when they're within a vicinity and life allows to make it happen. So, all right.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. 36 minutes. Hopefully this was worthwhile for you guys. Give us some feedback so we know if there's something you would like to have a team call on. Let us know that as well, and we can talk to it. Again, I'm going to be doing the video on the BAMFAM because that is the secret to this business. After you get the contact and inviting down, then the BAMFAM. All right?
All right.
All right.
Have a great night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye-bye.